A wise man once said that the strength of a team is always defined by the strength of their leader, and the power of any strong team is always determined by the character of their captain. Sometimes the leader of a team is not always the captain. Sometimes the leader is just a warrior in the midst of the army who never allows the team to quit from the battlefield.
So why is it got to be so damn tough?
Ladies and gentlemen,
several years back, I mentored a very strong female dance team. The whole team was full of extraordinary dancers, and it was always very difficult to point out who was the dopest and strongest among them. It took me a very long time to prepare them for greatness, but when their time to shine was ready, the whole country fell in love with their dance technique. This short story is about a female dancer from this amazing dance team. A lady who decided to take her dreams far beyond what we had ever imagined. A lady who turned her obstacles in life to inspiration and inspired her peers from scratch to greatness. This is the story of Damaris Kagera, famously known as Din. Damaris Kagera is a female dancer in East Africa who started from simple basics, and through hard work, she managed to turn her dreams to reality through excellence and pure discipline. I've been a dance choreographer for several years in my country, and one thing about me is that I never show favoritism to any of my students. I don't have favorites, but whenever I notice any extraordinary effort from any of my students, I never ignore it. I encourage it by pushing that specific student towards extraordinary greatness and perfection. I met Damaris in the No Limit crew. This was one of the most talented female dance teams that I ever trained and mentored from simple basics. Damaris always stood out from the rest of the team because whenever I asked them to do a number of sit-ups or push-ups, Damaris would always do double and twice of whatever I asked the ladies to do. I still have a funny memory of what Damaris did one day when I was training them. It was on a very cold morning along the road between Kahawa West and Ruiru. We were jogging with the girls, and as I was running in front of the No Limit crew, I noticed that they were so exhausted because we had been running for nearly 2 hours non-stop along the highway. But the weird thing is that when I looked back to check on the ladies, I could not see Damaris. And I also noticed that the ladies were laughing at me, so that's when I decided to check on the other side of the road. And to my shock, Damaris was actually in front of me. I thought I was the only one in front because we were all exhausted. But I was really impressed when I noticed that Damaris was in front of me and her whole team had been left behind. From that day onwards, I took an extra interest on her potential and strengths. I wanted to convert her level of endurance to something unique and special. As a dance trainer, whenever you're training your students, always be on the lookout for any student who goes an extra mile. In this planet, I've learned that being talented is not enough. And through that level of information, whenever I'm mentoring a dancer, I don't just look at their level of talent, but I'm always observant to see who among them is willing to go an extra mile in any class. So that's why it was very easy for me to discover this lady from the rest of her teammates. A few months later, me and Damaris, we started creating our own dance videos. It was never easy at all because I used to stay in Kahawa West and Damaris would travel all the way from the other end of Kiambu County on your way to Ruaka. So we created our own timetable for exercise because at that time, I still had the mandate to train 2 different female dance teams in my country. I was training a female dance team known as the EADE crew, and I was also training another team known as the No Limit crew. So I had to balance between Damaris, EADE, and the No Limit crew. So multitasking was compulsory for me. Damaris Kagera is not your average type of Kenyan female dancer, but this is a lady who has the ability to do any type of dance choreography. If you give Damaris your Lingala choreography, she will outshine you. If you give Damaris your hip-hop choreography, she will definitely outshine you, because hip-hop is one of her natural strengths. If you give this girl your dancehall or Afrobeat content, she will surprise you, because this lady has the brain of a genius and she learns very fast. Training this lady how to dance was one of the greatest delights of my life. It was one of the best decisions I ever made in my path of life, because I'm just a human being, and at times I look back in my life, and when people ask me about the greatest dancers that I've ever trained, I always respond by telling them that Damaris is at the top 3 among the best 3 dancers I ever trained in my country. When I first met Damaris, I never knew about her potential, because she's not the type that brags about her passion for dance. But whenever this lady gets on the dance floor, the audience is always astonished by her level of talent. My journey with Damaris was not always as easy as it looks. It was not easy at all, because I was training several dance teams, and at the same time I would still create time to train her, and I never told her how exhausted I was at times, because I valued her dreams. At times I would train about 2 different dance teams during the day. Then at night I have to travel all the way to Ngong Road to train 2 different dance teams in Kibera. Then I still have to return back to Kahawa West, so that the next day early in the morning I can wait for Damaris to train her. So it was never easy at all, but no matter how I overworked myself, I knew that I was mentoring a future legend, so the effort was always worth it. As I record this video today, I want any female dancer around Africa who is watching this to learn from the story of this extraordinary lady, and never ever give up on your dreams as long as you have the passion towards your vision. Damaris started from scratch. She never gave up in life. She was always passionate towards her own dreams in life, and she always applied the effort that her big dream required. As I speak today, Damaris stands tall as one of the most talented female dancers in our country, and her courage in life inspires thousands of dancers in her own path of life. I'm forever thankful that this lady trusted me with her dreams at a younger age, and she gave me the rare opportunity to mentor her from simple basics when she was still building the foundation of her dreams. I wish her all the best in life, and may she continue being an inspiration to the rest of the world.